Murder Obsession, another great rare release. Riccardo Freda, who in my mind is, as you'll see by this list, one of the all-time great Italian horror directors, who, ironically enough, I've heard in various interviews, dislike the genre, which is absolutely, allegedly, which I just find hilarious because he's made so many good horror films. This is definitely his most, I'll say, I guess, craziest. It's definitely has some cheddar elements. Equivalent, it's about a guy who makes horror films, and he invites a bunch of people over, and he basically starts to go crazy because he has a pretty demented past, and the past starts coming out. And if anyone out there has seen this, I'll say the dream sequence is just absolutely fantastic in a cheesy way for sure. But it's just a zany film, has great replay value, a good beer film. And again, when I say cheesy, I don't want to like take any credit away from it. It's just a very entertaining horror film by one of the all-time greats. Who Saw Her Die, directed by Aldo Lotto, who I suppose would be most known for in the horror genre from the Night Train murders, which, film I like, but I think this is much more of a mature film than that. I think they had a lot of exploitation elements to it. Which you think this would, based on what it's the premise about basically a young girl is murdered, and there's some, it was a sexual murder as well, and it's basically about her grieving parents trying to seek justice, and that's really what it's about. It's, in my opinion, one of the true standout giallos. I think one that doesn't get mentioned very often. It has great atmosphere to it. Great performances by George Lazenby and the always sexy Anita Strindberg, who plays the mother. Really cool score. I forget who did the score on this one. Ennio Morricone. So that's not surprising. And this film looks gorgeous. It is shot extremely well. Cinematography is fantastic. Some of the angles very, at times, kind of Bava-esque. Some cool set pieces at times when they're investigating and looking for the killer. Just a fantastic, atmospheric giallo, well written, and definitely more mature, not gory film, but just it's, this quote on here, riveting. I would definitely call it that, and very very well done, quality giallo. Seven Deaths in the Cat's Eye, Antonio Margheriti, another I guess overlooked director. Zany film, but a true gothic horror film, I think, from the 70s. Some good gore, definitely some commentary about themes of sex and religion, which is very cool. Two themes I definitely am always interested in. It's a great pet gorilla in this film. It's a crazy film, very entertaining. Great score by Riz Ortolani, of course. In my opinion, did one of the best scores from Cannibal Holocaust. Check this film out. Great release by Blue Underground. Really cool film. Some twist. I'll call it, I guess, like a giallo slash slasher film. Great artwork there too. Girl from Cortina. Definitely a late entry in the giallo canon. I fucking love this film. Well, obviously I love all these films, but just never hear this one get talked about. Basically, Mara, who is played by the gorgeous Vanessa Gravina. She's basically a young woman who's trying to get away from her past. Leaves her abusive husband, basically fakes her death, and ends up going back to her hometown and trying to start her life again. She is such a likable, besides the reason that because she's so hot, but she's honestly just, you feel for her. Very likable character, and that's what really makes this film work. She befriends this chick here, and that's all I'll say. Just when you think you've seen films, you can kind of expect what happens, especially with giallos. This is just had a couple twists in the film that even surprised me. I'm a jaded viewer of horror, of course. This was actually produced by Sergio Martino. You can definitely see his print on there with someone who's done so well with giallos in the past. Absolutely love this film, and it's just highly recommended. Alberto De Martino, Formula for Murder, great release by Shameless. This came with a raincoat, starring David Warbeck, genre legend to us Italian fans. And he basically, he's an instructor. He basically helps this paraplegic woman. He's kind of like a physical therapist basically, and they of course fall in love. And but let's just say he's not what he seems, and things get a little crazy, and he goes nuts. And Warbeck goes berserk, as it says on here, is exactly what this is. Very cool score. A couple legitimate creepy scenes with a doll. I love scenes with dolls, and some decent gore here and there. And just watching David Warbeck, much like when I mentioned Barbara Cupisti and Hell's Gate, it's just great seeing him. You immediately think Italian horror when you see David Warbeck, and this is just a joy to watch him go nuts in this film. Here we go, another Ricardo Freda film, The Ghost. This is a good release. I know this has some shitty releases. This is uncut. This is remastered. This is an official release though. So basically, if you want to know where I got this from a guy. If you look up a review of this guy on Amazon or this film on Amazon, you'll see a guy who actually posts, I'm pretty sure, his email. I think that's where I got it. And you can get a nice print, uncut of this film and another film that I will talk about later. I love this film. Barbara Steele, one of my favorite roles of her, which really says a lot because she's so amazing. And she basically has an affair with her husband's doctor. Basically, they want to get his wealth. He's in a wheelchair and he's dying, but they want the money quicker, and they basically plot his death. And of course, things go wrong, and let's just say the attempted murder does not work. But there's another cool twist at the end of this film, and Barbara Steele's performance is I just absolutely love it. She's very conniving and of course sexy as always, but man, this film is just a joy, and she is really rides on her performance and the performance of the other two lead characters. Absolutely fantastic. Yet another great release by Raro Video, Body Puzzle by legend Lamberto Bava. Again, a later entry to Giallo, starring, of all people, Joanna Pacula. She basically, her husband dies in an auto accident, and as time goes on, she ends up finding severed body parts in her apartment, or in her house, that apparently a murder keeps leaving. So it's basically an investigation led by Thomas Arano, who was in Suave's great film The Church. And they have some great chemistry together. The acting is actually really well done, really well written. Not really gory, but there's a few cool gory set pieces. I absolutely enjoyed this film. I watched it again recently. Really fantastic. Don't hear many people talk about this one. Just really well done, well written, well acted, and just a gem. Not surprising coming from Lamberto. And you could see I love Ricardo Freda. Tragic Ceremony. Great cover artwork here by Dark Sky Films. Sorry again for the blurriness. I don't know what's going on with the inconsistent lighting. But great mix here of 70s hippie exploitation mixed with that Euro Gothic atmosphere. The balance is just fantastic. Starring the great Camille Keaton, who is always sexy in her films and is well done. Basically, they say straight up, four hippies end up in a summer storm while they're doing a road trip, basically, and find themselves in this, as they call it, Manson-style mansion, where some occult shit is going on, basically a blood sacrifice. A really cool film, a bit cheesy here and there, but overall just good atmosphere. And there's a great scene right on this cover where she's walking down this glorious, epic staircase with the shades blowing around her, and holding the candelabra, wearing a nightgown. It's just absolutely classic. Really cool film. Yet another gem from Ricardo Freda. Great hardbox edition of Ghosthouse 6, aka Beyond Darkness, not to be confused with Beyond the Darkness from Joe D'Amato. In my opinion, whether or not you consider it a true Ghosthouse sequel, I actually think it fits very well considering it is, a haunted house film. Another kind of film, positive by association in that David Brandon, who I love from Stage Fright, he stars in this film as a priest who tries to help this family out, who just moved into this film that of course ends up being a ghost house. I love this film. Cheesy at times, yes, but some really cool practical effects. At times has like a Fulci vibe, especially, I know you can't see this very well, but some of the makeup is really Fulci like at times. I love it, especially, and it's a film that gets better as it goes along. The final act is fantastic, and it's just an awesome haunted house film with some true, it just feels Italian. Cool score, and yeah, by far my favorite official or unofficial Ghost House sequel. Awesome film. Luciano Ercoli's Death Walks at Midnight. This film is all about Susan Scott and Simon Andrew. Susan Scott, sexy as hell, great performance, very likable. She has this test done with this drug. She's willing to take it. She trips out and has this vision of a killer with this awesome spiked glove. Of course, she ends up being stalked then later on by this killer with a spiked glove. Fantastic giallo, stylish, quirky, great dialogue, and Susan Scott just shines, as she always does, in this classic. Paulo Cavara's Black Belly the Tarantula, definitely known from a lot of you horror fans out there, but I mean, for a film that starts off with a naked, hot Barbara Boucher and doesn't go downhill from there, is a testament to how great this film is. Barbara Boucher, Barbara Bach, I love Giancarlo Giannini, great, plays the investigating cop for this film. Just great giallo, basically about a guy who implants this poison from a rare wasp, and it allows women basically to stay coherent while they witness their own death. Just an awesome, stylish film. Great score. Ennio Morricone, of course. There's some great cinematography in this film. In particular, I love that mannequin scene. Absolutely awesome. Great giallo. Classic Italian Gothic, atmospheric, black and white horror right here. Adaptation, Edgar Allan Poe's Horror, aptly titled, aka The Blancheville Monster. Just, this film looks superb. At some points, the set pieces and locations are just jaw-dropping. Gorgeous women, some of which walking around in nightgowns, see-through, of course. Cool-looking monster. Just an awesome black and white gothic horror film. I just love this film, the atmosphere, the vibe. It looks fantastic. This is a good release of the film. Absolutely love it. A bit of a twist. Look at that great artwork. Go fucking buy this film. I finished my beer. Cheers. An absolute travesty of this film is not given a proper release. How many times have we said that? Demons 5, aka Devil's Veil, by the legendary Lamberto Bava. Basically a very loose remake of his father, the great Mario Bava. Black Sunday, some bunch of young skiers end up falling down basically down a cave, and they end up discovering the Mask of Satan, and chaos ensues from there. Great winter horror film set in a lot of the snow. This stars two people I love: the legendary director Michele Soavi, and who I spoke of before, the cute and sexy Mary Sellers. Awesome film, practical effects, vibe. It's just a damn shame that this Japanese release is the only thing we have for this film. Shout Factory, Scream Factory, whatever the fuck you want to be called. Somebody pick this film up, do what you got to do to try to find the original tapes, get this remastered, and just an absolutely awesome film. Great small hardbox edition, Zeter, horribly mismarketed back in the 80s. I think it was called Revenge of the Living Dead, trying to play it as a, as a gory zombie film. That's not what it is. Technically, you could say there are zombies that come back at the end of the film, but this is more of a smart, creepy, atmospheric, intelligent, well done. I guess you could call it a giallo kind of zombie film by Pupai, sorry. He's done House of Laughing Windows, probably what he's most known for. Fantastic film. Great replay value. Stars Gabriel Lavia. It's great. That's him right there. You recognize his face from Argento's classic Deep Red. Really cool seeing him in the title role. His wife is just gorgeous. He basically he ends up tracking down. He gets caught up in an investigation on his own time, which leads to some mysterious, basically, dead coming to life. Just well done. The final act is fantastic. Just love this film. And this is actually, you guys want this, pick this release up. It's uncut and it actually looks really good by CMV. If you're still watching this, Charles, long video, I mean, what would you expect? It's the 50th episode. But if you're still following, appreciate it. Hopefully, I really hope you guys are enjoying this and hopefully getting some titles here that have gotten you excited that maybe you didn't know about or had forgotten about. Another one by Antonio Margheriti. This is a great two-pack. Barbara Steele, Angel for Satan. But this is for Margheriti's The Long Hair of Death. Absolutely great black and white gothic horror film. Definitely some reminiscent kind of at times of Black Sunday. Just looks great. She looks great as always. It's a moody film. Takes place in a castle. You gotta seek this film out. If you can get this edition, that'd be great because you get two films, of course. But an absolutely great gothic horror film if you're into that stuff. And feels Italian, looks Italian, and it's just a joy to watch, and it looks gorgeous. And yet again, a great performance by Barbara Steele. I have championed this film many times. Spider Labyrinth, one of the many travesties, that this film does not have a proper release. How many times do we have to say it in horror? Great artwork. Part giallo, part, I don't know how you want to call it. I guess I would call it a giallo. But just great practical effects, and I'm not overhyping this when I say, to me, it's like a mix of Argento has a baby with Fulci, and then they decided to do a threesome with Clive Barker. I mean, that's just what this is like. The final act, crazy effects at the end, well shot, cinematography, atmosphere. This is a horrible. This is taken, I believe, from a VHS Japanese release, of course. And so if you pick one of these bootlegs up, it's not going to be good quality, but it's a damn shame. Hot chick in it. I mean, it's got everything you want in an Italian horror film, and just an absolute travesty. But at the very least, you need a copy of this in your collection. Another film I talk about all the time that I love that I don't really hear too many people talk about. Gets the award for longest name of the list, The Forbidden Photos of a Lady Above Suspicion. Some heavyweight Euro talent involved with this film. Once again, directed by Luciano Ercoli. You got a score by Ennio Morricone, of course, it seems. Two of my favorite and hottest Euro babes, Dagmar Lasseter, Susan Scott. A fantastic giallo, definitely sex-driven, but it's dark and moody. In my opinion, one of my favorite roles by Dagmar Lasseter, I absolutely love. Got a chance to meet her a couple years back. What an honor that was. She's very likable in this film. Really pull for her. Well written, well acted, just across the board. A fantastic, sexy, stylish giallo by Ercole. Just don't think this gets talked about enough. Speaking of sexy, speaking of Euro heavyweights, Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, which now replaces the previous film as longest title. Obviously, I'm very aware this is a very well-known film to you horror fans out there. I just don't think when people discuss the greatest giallos of all time, some of the Argento ones, some of the early Fulci ones, even like Martino's Torso, which I love. I think that you can make a case that this is his best film, as much as I love Torso. Just an awesome, incredibly entertaining giallo. I mean, the cast, Edward French, in one of her, definitely, I mean, look at that picture, one of her sexiest roles, Anita Strindberg, who, this is my favorite performance by her. You got the always sleazy and scuzzy Luigi Pistillo, Ivan Rasimov. I mean, this is just such a great film. Great score, quirky, what a great ending. I absolutely love this film, and while I'm very aware that it's well known, I just think it's just one of the greatest Italian horror films. At last, the final two. Here we are, people. Another rare video release, The Perfume of the Lady in Black. Mimsy Farmer, who I just absolutely love. All these great Euro ladies. This ranks right up there, in my opinion, with Carnival of Souls as far as an absolute travesty that this is the only horror film that this director directed, much like Herc Harvey and Carnival of Souls. To be honest, I think this is his only full-length film, period, that Francesco made, which is just incredible to me. As far as I'm concerned, people, this is an absolute masterpiece. And I'll actually say, in theme-wise, it's very similar to Repulsion, Polanski's classic. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love that film. I actually think this film is actually better across the board. And one reason, it just feels more Italian with the score, with having Mimsy in it, and just the angles. I mean, this film is just fucking brilliant. I absolutely love this film. And why don't you hear a little bit more about this film from me and Vinci? We just watched film The Perfume of the Lady in Black, which I've championed this film for a long time, but this is Finchie's first time seeing this one. So maybe you want to give your just quick thoughts on what you thought about the film?
I thought, I mean, a lot of like what you said when you were trying to tell me about it. Ahead of its time, definitely, like you said, with a lot of different elements, like like you said, the mental illness, along with witchcraft and cult stuff, which you don't really get into. It hints at things here and there, and there's a lot of like blurred lines on reality, what this woman is going through, and what's really going on in her head.
You see, like, I mean, we've seen there's been plenty of obviously mental illness films and horror, of course, but I think, like you said, the fact that they combine that with the witchcraft subgenre is like really cool.
It gives it a unique feel to it.
I told you when I first told you about it, I told you her performance reminded me of Catherine Deneuve in Repulsion.
Right. Yeah.
By Polanski. And to me, I actually think it's a better film. I guess from a horror lover, it would be a better film because they add the witchcraft angle. You know what I mean? So I think it'd be more.
There's more of a dark.
And I love Repulsion, but yeah, I think it's a satisfying view for. But like we were talking while we watched this director one time. We always look for directors. Francesco Barilli. This was his only feature-length film, which boggles my mind.
It's a crime.
It's up there to me with Harvey from Carnival of Souls. Like, this guy could have been on his way to.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, why would you make one amazing film and then just stop?
I guess if you're gonna make one film, make it amazing. But like, cinematography is at the Bava level, and I'm not just saying that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely say that as a very strong point is the cinematography and the acting and the atmosphere and everything. The score is amazing. Total Italian score.
Yep.
Everything that screams Italian.
A balance too, like you got piano stuff, you got those haunting violins.
It's got subtle stuff. It's got stabby stuff.
Mimsy Farmer, who I just love. Anyway, was she brilliant in this film? Just carrying the movie. Like a lot of facial expressions. Obviously, someone going through mental illness has to. There's a lot of pressure on Italian horror films of all time from a director who only did this, and that's
Yeah.
amazing. Thanks to Rare for putting this out. Wish they'd have a Blu-ray because it's, like you said, it's visually so great. But yeah, I'm glad you got to see this here for this day. And
it's a perfect film for the day.
if none of you out there has ever seen this film, get this Rare edition. It's awesome. Mimsy Farmer, great score. I honestly think it's one of the greatest underrated, overlooked Italian horror films of all time. Number one on this list, an absolute another masterpiece in my opinion, from one of the, in my opinion, that's the only opinion that matters. I'm just kidding. Settle down. Ricardo Freda yet again pops up on this list, and yet again Barbara Steele. The Horrible Dr. Hitchcock. Yes, this is a bootleg. I'm not even sure if this film has. Actually, I know that it has a pretty shitty release. Once again, this is uncut, remastered. I don't know where it came from. It's bootleg, obviously. Just do some research and try to find a proper, bootleg release of this film. Arguably, I guess I'll say it's the most likable Barbara Steele role of her career. You really feel bad for her. She's the second wife of this scientist here, whose wife passed away, and he's basically obsessed with this drug that he's working on. Excuse me. And this gets in the way of his personal life. You just really feel bad for her. He's not over his wife's death. She moves into their old mansion with him, and again, you just really feel for her. This is gothic horror cinema, Italian cinema at its best. Great location, set pieces, cinematography, score. Barbara Steele is just absolutely fantastic, as is Robert Fleming in the lead role, the crazy doctor. There are some creepy scenes in this film, atmospheric, absolutely fantastic, and in my opinion, the number one overlooked and underrated Italian horror film of all time, with all due respect to the other films on this list. But if you are an Italian horror fan, get a copy of the proper uncut release of this film, and especially if you love Barbara Steele, get a copy like this of this film. And again, she's just absolutely fantastic in this film. Ricardo Freda dominating this list. Charles, everybody, thanks so much for watching this list. I hope you've been inspired to maybe pick up some films. And thank you so much for watching this list. This was a lot of fun. All right, Italian Horror Month is coming to a conclusion. We've had a great day today, right?
Yeah, we had a great day, a great month.
Italian horror all day long. It's been a blast.
We were very Italian today.
We're feeling it too.
Yeah.
And your meatballs.
Delicious meat. They were good.
They were good. I hope you guys have enjoyed Italian Horror Month. I really appreciate all of you that have taken the time to watch all these episodes. We want to end it here with something cool. Mrs. Hemmer got me this. This is Italian beer, right? We had to. We haven't been drinking Italian beer all day, but we had to at least have one. And she got me this actually for my birthday a year ago.
It's a big special one, so it makes up.
It is, for an occasion. Birra Artigianale Demon Hunter. Look at that label. You probably can't see it well. But this is a true, authentic Italian beer.
You can tell by the wrapping and everything.
I mean, look at that.
That's fancy.
That label. Demon Hunter. So, thank you, Mrs. Hedberg. We're going to open this. It's been aged now for a year, so I'm going to open this. I wish I could keep this. Maybe I can if I... There you go. Oh, look at that. Little label there. So we're going to open this and have it with you guys. Charles, and thank you for watching, commenting, all that stuff. Remember, of course, we're going to announce the contest winner next month. If I can open this. Woo! Ooh. You guys hear that? Look at that. It's like a corked...
Oh, look at that. Wow, look at that.
Show that to the camera. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it's like a corked bottle.
All the bottles we've had, I've never seen anything
one like that before.
So we've never had this. We've never had this.
No?
Smells delicious. Let's do this. So, to all you lovers of Italian horror, I hope you guys have enjoyed this month. We've had a great day today. You watch these episodes throughout the month. Cheers, right? Italian Horror Month, everybody. Happy Italian Horror Month.
And if you noticed this lovely 50th sign behind us, it's the 50th episode.
It is.
Of Horror's Ball, and it's a monumental.
It is.
It's a milestone.
It is, and I want to thank all you people for watching. If there are any of you that have watched since the beginning, since my stupid first video.
I remember those.
And
too.
I want to thank you for being a part of it.
Yeah.
After a season, you came on board.
After a
I
season.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
It's been great having you share this.
We've had many great memories making lots of videos together, and I look forward to all the stuff we're gonna do in the future, and I just look forward to all the good times. And I want to thank everyone out there for everyone watching and having a good time.
I don't know if we'll make it to 100, but we'll see. I guess if you
tell.
guys keep watching, I guess I'll keep making them. It's all a matter of having the time to do them and stuff. But I mean, I never thought 4 years ago now that when I started this idea that I would have made it to a 50th episode. So thank you all so much for supporting the show and commenting and watching the videos and the great friends both of us have made throughout the years. And I guess we'll see if we make a 100th episode. It'd be awesome. But I guess as long as you guys keep watching, as long as there's a few of you out there that give a shit and watch what we do, we appreciate it. And
that matters a lot. Just everyone just watching and supporting.
Yeah, that's why we do it.
And just being our friend.
Yeah, so happy Italian Horror, happy 50th episode.
Yeah.
It's been a great day, it's been a great month, and of course next month is the biggest month of the year, October. So
big one.
Fall is here. Thanks so much, guys, for watching.
It's gonna be a good one too.
We'll see you guys soon. Stay scared. Charles, we'll see you in October, right?
Charles, definitely.
October. Charles, everybody.
It's upon us.